You might have heard whispers, stories that circulate across coin forums, social media posts, and YouTube videos. Stories claiming that the humble 2009 Lincoln penny could be worth millions of dollars. Yes, millions, for a small, copper-colored coin that you might have in your pocket right now. It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Imagine pulling out a penny from your change jar and realizing that it might make you a millionaire. But could it be true? Could a coin as common as the 2009 Lincoln penny really hold that kind of hidden treasure? Well, stay with me until the very end of this video, because today, we're going to uncover everything. The history, the design, the true market value, and the surprising truth behind those million-dollar rumors that have captured the world's attention. Let's know the story behind the 2009 Lincoln penny. To understand why this coin became so special, we have to travel back in time, not just to 2009, but all the way to 1809, the year Abraham Lincoln was born. Lincoln wasn't born into wealth or privilege. He came from humble beginnings, a small log cabin in Kentucky. He worked hard, read by firelight, and taught himself through pure determination. That boy would one day grow up to become the 16th President of the United States, leading the nation through the Civil War and changing history forever. Now fast forward to 1909, 100 years after his birth. That's when the U.S. Mint decided to honor him with a coin, the Lincoln cent, designed by Victor David Brenner. It replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. Then, another 100 years later, in 2009, the Mint once again celebrated Lincoln, this time marking both the bicentennial of his birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent. And for that occasion, something truly special was created. The 4 special 2009 penny designs. In 2009, the Mint didn't release just one penny design, but 4, each showing a different stage of Lincoln's life. 1. Birth and early childhood in Kentucky, featuring a simple log cabin. 2. Formative years in Indiana, showing young Lincoln sitting on a log reading a book. 3. Professional life in Illinois, showing him standing in front of the state capitol. 4. Presidency in Washington, D.C., showing the unfinished U.S. Capitol dome. Each design told part of his life's journey, from humble beginnings to historic leadership. But out of all 4, one design stood out and became a favorite among collectors, the formative years design. Let's take a closer look at the 2009 penny itself. On the obverse side, the front, you'll see the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln's portrait, the same design that's been used since 1909, originally created by Victor David Brenner. Above his head, the words, "In God We Trust," are proudly inscribed. To the left, you'll find "Liberty," and to the right, the date, 2009, along with a mint mark. A D for Denver. No letter for Philadelphia, or an S for San Francisco, if it's a proof coin. Now flip it over to the reverse side, and you'll see the formative years design. A young Lincoln sitting on a log, reading a book, with a few simple tools around him, including a mallet and wedge. This design beautifully captures Lincoln's early life in Indiana, when he worked hard by day and studied by night. It's a tribute to self-education, determination, and perseverance, qualities that defined who Lincoln became. Beneath the scene, the words, "1 cent," are engraved in bold letters, and just above that, the national motto, "E pluribus unum," meaning, out of many, one. Together, both sides of this coin tell a story, not just of a man, but of a journey from poverty to greatness. Why the 2009 penny became so talked about. When the 2009 Lincoln pennies were first released, coin collectors and even casual Americans rushed to get them. People were fascinated by the designs, and soon, stories began circulating. Stories about rare versions, minting errors, and incredible auction prices. Collectors discovered that some coins had minor differences, a slightly stronger strike, or a tiny minting flaw, and before long, the online world was flooded with headlines claiming that a 2009 penny had sold for thousands, and later, millions of dollars. It didn't take long for these stories to go viral. Suddenly, everyone was checking their spare change, hoping to find that golden ticket, the 2009 penny that could make them rich overnight. But before we reveal the truth about those million-dollar claims, let's take a closer look at what these coins are actually worth in today's collector market. Let's know the true value of the 2009 Lincoln penny. Let's break it down step by step. Most 2009 Lincoln pennies were struck in huge quantities. Hundreds of millions of them were made in both Philadelphia and Denver. That means they're not particularly rare in circulation. Circulated condition. If your 2009 penny has been used, scratched, dull, or worn, it's worth exactly 1 cent. Uncirculated condition. If it's bright and shiny, showing no signs of wear, it might fetch 10 to 50 cents, depending on condition. Brilliant uncirculated/mint rolls. Collectors often save entire rolls of new pennies. A full roll of 2009 uncirculated coins might sell for a few dollars, mostly for novelty and collectability. High-grade coins. Now this is where it gets interesting. If your 2009 penny is professionally graded, say by PCGS or NGC, and receives a grade of MS 67 or higher, the value increases significantly. Some top-quality examples have sold for $50, $100, or even $250. Proof coins. Special proof versions, minted in San Francisco with mirror-like surfaces, can sell for $3 to $10, depending on their condition and packaging. But now, let's talk about the real reason this coin became famous, the error varieties. Let's know rare errors and varieties that can be valuable. Among the millions of 2009 pennies produced, a few rare errors slipped through the minting process. The most famous is the double die reverse, known among collectors as DDR varieties. On these coins, parts of the design appear slightly doubled, most often seen on Lincoln's hands, the book, or the log. There are several known double die varieties, and the clearer the doubling, the more valuable the coin. For example, a mild doubling might bring around $50 to $100. Strong doubling, visible even without magnification, can fetch $300 to $600. And in exceptional cases, pristine condition, dramatic doubling, and high professional grade, they've sold for over $1,000. Other errors include off-center strikes, where the design is shifted on the coin. Die cracks or cuds, where raised lines or blobs appear due to a broken die. Clipped planchets, where a small portion of the coin is missing. These kinds of mint errors are always sought after because they're accidental and rare, each one unique. So yes, there are some 2009 pennies worth hundreds or even $1,000, but they're the exception, not the rule. Now, let's talk about those million-dollar rumors. Here's the truth that everyone's been waiting for. Despite what you may have read online or seen in viral videos, there is number 2009 Lincoln Penny known to be worth $1 million. That's right. Not a single one. The rumor most likely started when news stories about high-grade or error pennies selling for hundreds got twisted and exaggerated online. Someone hears a penny sold for $1,000 and tells a friend it sold for $10,000, and before you know it, a myth is born, a $1 million penny. It's the same pattern that's happened with many coins: the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die, the 1969 S double die, the 1974 aluminum cent, all real rarities, but over time their stories became exaggerated to the point of fantasy. So while the 2009 Lincoln Penny can be valuable, it's not a ticket to instant fortune. The highest confirmed auction prices for the 2009 formative years penny are around $1,000 to $1,200, and those are exceptional, nearly flawless examples with dramatic mint errors or top-level grading. Still impressive, yes, but far from $1 million. Why people still treasure the 2009 penny? Even though it's not worth millions, the 2009 Lincoln Penny holds a special place in American coin history. It's the only year in modern times where the penny featured 4 unique reverse designs, each telling a story of Abraham Lincoln's life. It was also the final year before the mint introduced the Union Shield design in 2010, marking the end of an era. Collectors, historians, and even casual hobbyists see the 2009 penny as more than money. It's a miniature tribute to Lincoln's journey, from chopping wood to changing the world. That's why so many people still keep these coins safely tucked away, even if they're worth just a cent. They remind us of what's possible through perseverance and learning. How to check if yours might be special. If you've got a 2009 penny lying around, don't rush to spend it. Here's a quick checklist to see if it's worth holding on to. 1. Check the mint mark. D equals Denver. No letter equals Philadelphia. S equals proof from San Francisco. 2. Check the design. Identify which of the 4 2009 designs you have, especially the formative years design showing Lincoln on a log. 3. Inspect for errors. Look for doubling on the hands, book, or lettering. Check for off-center strikes or cracks. 4. Check the condition. The shinier and more flawless it is, the better. 5. Consider professional grading. If you think you have something rare, getting it certified by PCGS or NGC can make all the difference in confirming its true market value. The real value, not in dollars, but in meaning. So let's wrap this up honestly. No, your 2009 Lincoln Penny probably won't make you a millionaire. But that doesn't mean it's worthless. This coin is a piece of American history, celebrating one of the nation's greatest leaders. It reminds us that even from the most modest beginnings, greatness can emerge. That's what makes this coin special. It's not the price tag, it's the story it tells, the history it carries, and the inspiration it continues to give. So the next time you see a 2009 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You never know what small details might make it valuable. And even if it's just an ordinary cent, keep it anyway, because it represents something extraordinary. The spirit of hard work, learning, and determination that defined Abraham Lincoln himself. Who knows? Maybe one day, that same penny will remind you that even the smallest things can carry the greatest stories. If you enjoyed uncovering the truth behind this mysterious coin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating coin stories and hidden treasures. Because the next coin in your pocket might just surprise you.